content related to the development of Star Traders and our other games, as well as sharing some of the Kickstarter process that we've been going through for our games with people that maybe didn't have a chance to back the project or back to a different tier, so that people can get a look at what the different rewards look like. Oh, something just happened. I wasn't paying attention. Okay, so the Spice Trader wants us to get to 20 reputation before they'll let us recruit this special story officer, a diplomat. So this is some of the early testing that we're going to be able to do, or some of the testing of some of the early development of the story functions that we're going to be able to use to tell this story within the Star Traders 2 framework. So when you visit planets, when you talk to people, you'll be able to get involved with both their procedural generation elements, the things that they're doing as part of the world, their AI and traits like these missions. He hates Steele's song. He's a good friend. Was he good? We don't know yet. He's a good friend with this starport mechanic, so he'll have missions that benefit him. So these are some of the things that happen because of his position in the ProcGen world and the character's actions, and eventually a few turns down the road, conflicts and rumors will start to show up here as well. But beyond that, these contacts can also participate in the narrative story elements. So in this case, we can meet this formidable negotiator who is a friend of this Spice Trader. If we get enough reputation, we can start to talk to him. Maybe he wants us to do something, or maybe he's willing to join our crew if we do something. So this story element is bound to this Spice Trader, and as I meet additional contacts, as I explore the quadrant, right now I only know a handful of contacts, and in the game, in this galaxy map, there's hundreds of contacts, and many of them will have story elements attached to them. So you'll have their interactions with the world around you, the changing world of politics and faction power, and the other contacts and their links and their network of friends and enemies. They'll also have personal stories like their valued negotiator who wants to see the stars, or their wayward son who needs some seasoning on a star trading vessel to get his act together, and you have to take him and get him to survive for a certain number of turns. Different story elements. So there'll be a lot of different things you'll be able to do with visiting, exploring, taking on officers, protecting crew members, moving contacts, working the interpersonal relationships, the romances, the hatreds, the feuds between the contacts that go above and beyond the faction-to-faction conflicts. And so part of that is going to be the content that the Kickstarter backers are providing. So one of the things that we're always really excited about when we build a game is the opportunity to work with people who contribute both within the Kickstarter financially, but also within the framework of creating content. So we're working with people both as Kickstarter backers, but also as co-creators on the game. So there's a number of people who supported the project to the level where they received a Kickstarter reward called Legendary Backer, or Legendary Captain. So we'll pull up the Kickstarter a little bit, and we'll just kind of look at this. So our original campaign includes these pledge levels. So people that pledged $1,000 or more to the Kickstarter campaign get to go through this legendary captain creation process. So the beginning of this is this form. So the legendary captain is going to exist in the game for all the players, and will have custom created artwork and custom designed content around them, and they'll fit in prominently within some of those narrative arcs we were just talking about. So it's possible that Nikolai, the negotiator that we were going to meet through the spice trader, could end up being someone's legendary captain, or a step on the path to finding a way to interact with, work with, or get into conflict with the legendary captain. So we're going to work hand in hand with people that backed the project at that level to build content that will ship within the game. So not only are they getting all these digital rewards, all this access, but they're also going to get to have a one-on-one design session with Andrew and I and work out where their particular legendary captain fits in. So these rewards are all concurrent. So people that have the legendary captain are also making a faction NPC, are also making an officer. So there's a bunch of different content development processes going on, and different numbers of people are participating in each tier. So it's really exciting for us because not only do we get to spend a lot of time interacting with the people that made the project possible, the Kickstarter backers, we also get a lot of really cool ideas. Now, we're not able to use 100% of everything that comes in. We have to kind of curate it and make sure that it's all thematically and, thematically true to the vision and consistent. But we're able to use a lot of it because so many of the people who are our Kickstarter backers are into the games and understand the setting and are really excited about providing new variations and new ideas on it. So it's really cool. And so the beginning of the Legendary Captain is this form that we sent out. We sent out the lore book draft to the alpha backers, which gives anybody who's thinking about a Legendary Captain a bunch of story hooks, ideas, flavor text, and things to look at in terms of thinking about like the scope of the history of Star Traders 2 and where they want their character to fit in. So we get your email address, match that up to your Kickstarter backer. And we get some basic demographics. Here's your captain's full name. We need to expand this gender ID field, but and then you pick a faction, so you can choose from any of the factions. So maybe we're going to be Vimunkadar, Garandakadar, and we could look in the lore book for some common last names if we wanted to be like really canon. So then the beginning of this form is going to ask the character or the backer about some specific stuff about how we're going to use the artwork that we're buying in their behalf. So not only are we going to be working with them to build the actual content, the characters, and building this character straight into the game as like a packaged element, we're also buying artwork and configuring a specific set of animations and everything else for the characters. So we're going to be putting in a lot of work to make this content really unique, and we're going to ask the backer some questions about how else they want the content to be available. So the first is, should the captain's face be available to other characters? So this is like, the backer's going to give us a bunch of art. We're going to work with them to do a draft drawing and then a final drawing of the face, and they get to pick, can other people use it in their skins? Like, is this face available when you do next head or next face for the list of faces? So I'm going to say no. I'm going to be selfish, and I'm going to keep this face. So when you see this captain, you'll know it's her because she's the only one that looks like this. So there'll be a ton of faces. Saying yes means that like more people get to contribute or get to see it. And if you're maybe a forum member, or you're making YouTubes or screenshots, you can show like, yeah, I use my captain's face. Oh, I see that you like the face that I picked out and had the developers add to the game. So it's like kind of a prestige choice. Like, do you want other people to benefit, or do you want it to just be tied to this story character? And then we're going to say, should the captain's outfit be available to other characters? So when we're looking at this outfit, this is the body that we're going to make specifically for this character. So the backer sends in some references. In this case, it's pirate boots, a long coat, and this high cowl. And we ended up with this skin here that's shown equipped a blade. It'll also be able to equip other weapons and have specific custom animations based on the cowl and the boots and everything else. So the backer will be providing this captain's appearance in terms of references. So these images over here, they'll send us, and we'll kind of ask questions like, okay, which part of this do you like? And we'll snip it down, and then we'll build artwork based on that. And that's kind of where this guy came from. So the question again is, do you want that? Like, the red coat guy is kind of one of the classic pirate outfits, and everybody in the game can use it. But this particular backer gets to choose, like, is the outfit I'm designing specific to the character? So I'm actually going to say that the outfit should be available for my... No, I don't get to actually make one of these, but I'm going to, in our example, we're going to say yes. So I'm thinking, like, the face is unique, but I'm going to make a really cool lady pirate outfit for Karen de Kadar. She's like a military officer, and I'm going to share that. Anybody can use it. So loyal, positive. So these kind of... this question is, what's the relationship with the captain and her birth faction? So these are questions kind of that start us, like, we're going to fill out this kind of questionnaire, and that's going to start the discussion as we work towards getting some specific details and then narrowing down, like, the questions we need to ask so that we can have a really productive design discussion with the backer. So, then we're going to choose the job. So this is like right out of the game based on the wiki thing. We're pulling out like what's their job. So one of the cool things is you're going to be creating a character maybe based on the characters you made in alpha or a character wish you would have been able to make in alpha. And then we're going to build that character and put it straight into the game as an adversary, ally, potential competition for every other player that plays the game, whether they're in the alpha or they buy it on Steam or they get it on iOS, or they just get a key on Android for being a Kickstarter backer. So we're going to say that Karen de Kadar is a fearsome bounty hunter, and that's her primary job. She's a bounty hunter, but secondary job is a military officer. Yeah. So that's what we picked. Maybe not the greatest combination, but she flies a really big ship. She's very loyal and seasoned with the Kadars. And she acts mostly like a notorious pirate, although she's a bounty hunter. So if the narratives that I pick for this caption in the design discussions end up oh hey, somebody showed up. Not every character made can be we're going to be making a bunch of characters hand in hand with Kickstarter backers. And we will be putting those into the game. And then the game will also be generating a whole bunch of characters, but they won't be as significant. So there will be characters that are generated that play a role in the procedurally generated story that'll be unique for every game. And then the characters that we make with Kickstarter backers will be in the narrative story and interact with the procedural generated world. So they'll kind of be both, and they'll be a little unpredictable because they'll have maybe their own AI. They're going to act a bit like a notorious pirate in terms of how they give out missions and interact with their linked contacts. And they'll also potentially be able to fight you because they have a ship. So they're going to be really dynamic parts of the narrative construct within Star Traders 2. So as we go through this, the Kickstarter backer is going to be able to look at this form and pick some traits. So there's 4 traits that I can pick. Now these are the same ones that you can find on the wiki and get in the alpha or in the release. And I'm going to try and make my character like very tough to kill. So acrobatic, I'm going to avoid critical hits. Looking through these, kind of looking at them. So there's a lot of choices like this. We thought about offering a limited number, but then when we kind of got into it, we realized that, so we're going to say driven, can't go below 40, basically can't be defeated and can't be broken in hand-to-hand combat, no matter how badly debuffed, and won't ever not contribute to ship stats, so that's really awesome. Yeah, she's berserk. So she's acrobatic, berserk, driven, and has astute aim. So she's firearms, right? Because she's military officer, bounty hunter. So that's any firearm, basically, she's going to have skills for. We got plus 10 damage in astute aiming, plus 15 damage in berserk. We can't break and we can't retreat. So that's really, I like that kind of combination. And I think that'd make a cool combat character. And the way I'm imagining that this captain will interact with the world is that she's going to be an adversary for anyone that isn't pro-Kadar, and a bully and difficult mission giver for anyone that is pro-Kadar. So tough mental... Yeah, I'm just going to cheese it out since we're going to fight. Resilience and fortitude, POW. So I'm really thinking about captain's best skill is heavy firearms. So then I would submit. So that's going to put kind of the very basic outline that we're going to be able to use. We're going to take this data. We're going to kind of massage it into another form that will be able to work with the designer to flesh out the character. And this will be the beginning of the character sketch. We will also use this email address to start the discussions about like the appearance, the face, get drafts. We didn't want to put all the uploads. We just kind of want to do that person to person, one-on-one with the backers. So we're really excited about this and the other content creation efforts that we have ongoing. Legendary Captain, I think, is really cool because it's such a potentially unique look for the captain, and you're also contributing like your personal style and flair to the game in the form of a face or an outfit that you can either hold back as like a very unique like moment for everyone playing the game when they run into you, or you can share it with everyone and be like creating part of the game for everyone that plays it. So I think that's a cool look at the first step of Legendary Captain. So we look back at the Kickstarter rewards, and I think this is something that Andrew and I are, we really love doing Kickstarters because we get all these people who show up and are really excited to make content and be kind of part of the team. It's one thing to get listed in the credits in a game. It's a different thing to be listed in the credits and have designed an outfit and a face and written a custom narrative about a character who's going to appear and either befriend, battle, or boss around other players. Like, I think that's one of the things that we really love doing with Kickstarters. And there's a lot in here related to those type of rewards. We have famous officers, we have faction NPCs, we have entire quadrants. So there's different levels, and we always like to try and make sure that we have different tiers so that people who want different levels of involvement can get in. So it's not just like one creative quadrant. So then there's join the Star Traders lore. So there's a whole lot of people that have been helping us build up flavor text and story snippets and ideas and backgrounds and contact dialogue based on these captains. So everybody, like so many people, supported us, and a lot of them received one of these creative awards, and we've been working with everyone who we can as we move through them. Now, some of them are much more involved, like Creative Quadrant is obviously ongoing and pretty sizable to make like a map and all the planets and design the political backstory and so on and work it into the narrative. Those are all ongoing, but we're chipping away at it as we post Kickstarter updates. We make sure that we include like a chart that kind of shows where we're at with the different ones done and in progress. And we're now in progress on Design a Legend. We haven't started Design a Quadrant. So you can kind of see where we're at with all these creative rewards, both people delivering data to us and us delivering content, t-shirts, alpha builds, that kind of stuff to the Kickstarter backers. So that's kind of a look at the Legendary Captain. I'm going to actually end this broadcast here, and we're going to take a 5-minute break. I'm going to end the broadcast, take a few minutes, come back on, and that will let me have just that, the last 30 minutes or so, as something that I can export to YouTube. So I just want to do this real quick so we can have a YouTube Legendary Captains export. So I'll be back in 5. Thanks for watching.